After testing a bunch of robot vacuums and mops and using them daily in my home for years, one thing I've learned is that finding a great one comes down to navigation and mopping. A lot of products are pretty good at vacuuming up dry debris, but one key thing that separates them is their ability to handle wet messes. For that reason, I'm taking a look at 3 robot vacuums and mops that take 3 very different approaches to mop design. Eufy Omni E25 with its HydroJet roller mop, Dreame X50 Ultra with dual spinning mop pads, and Roborock S8 MaxV Ultra with a single vibrating mop. I'll put each through a series of tests to understand their mopping performance in different conditions to help you decide which one is best. I'll also take a closer look at the vacuuming and obstacle avoidance performance of the Eufy, plus other must-know features across all 3 brands, including which one offers the best value for your money. Oh, and I'll also test which one is faster in a race. If you're new here, my name is Leen, and this channel is all about how tech can make you more productive, especially through home automation, with new videos every week. I've already done deep dive reviews on the Dreame X50 Ultra, Roborock S8 MaxV Ultra, and Roborock Saros 10R, among others, and we'll leave links to those in the video description. In this video, I'm going to spend more time on the features of the Eufy Omni E25 and how these 3 brands compare in different mopping scenarios. Eufy is sponsoring this video to support the channel, but they have not influenced the outcomes from my testing. As mentioned, Eufy, Dreame, and Roborock all take different approaches to mopping your floors. The Dreame X50 Ultra uses dual spinning mop pads. These are attached to the robot when mopping and can be left behind at the dock when vacuuming. It can extend the spinning mop out to the side to clean along edges. The Roborock S8 MaxV Ultra uses a single large mop pad with 2 vibration modules underneath that scrub the floor. The mop pad is always attached to the robot unless you physically remove it. The Roborock also has a spinning side mop to clean along walls. Both the Dreame and Roborock robots must visit their docking stations to prep and wash the mop pads before and after a cleaning task. What sets the Eufy apart is something called a HydroJet system. This is a rolling mop design that cleans itself 360 times per minute while cleaning. As it mops your floor, dual scrapers scrub the mop and dirty water is removed from the mop and replaced with fresh water in real time. This is made possible by both clean and dirty water tanks inside the robot. Other robots would need to return to the dock to achieve this. The logic behind this setup is that only a clean mop can clean your floors. A mop naturally gets dirtier as you use it, but the HydroJet system is designed to keep the mop clean throughout each session. And because the roller mop is the industry's longest at 11.4 inches, and since it applies a consistent scrub across the entire surface, you don't end up with the streaks in the middle you find on some dual mop pad robots. After cleaning, the roller mop applies downward pressure to scrub the floor for maximum cleanliness. However, unlike the Dreame and Roborock, the Eufy does not have a spinning side mop that extends from the robot to reach into corners. All 3 robots automatically wash and dry the mop pads back in the docking station after each cleaning session, and all have the option for auto-dispensing a cleaning detergent solution. But all of that is just specs. How well do these robots actually clean? To find out, I tested each robot in 3 different mopping scenarios: dried spills, liquid messes, and mixed wet-dry debris. For each scenario, I focused on an actual mess that you might find in our house. The robot that performed the best was awarded 3 points, the robot that performed second best was awarded 2 points, and the robot that performed worst was awarded 1 point. If a robot did not complete the assigned task, it was not awarded any points. After each robot finished its task, I wiped the floor with a white paper towel to see if any visible stains were left behind, and then compared the findings. In between each robot's mopping session, I scrubbed the floor with a cleaning solution to ensure each robot had a fresh start. First up was the dried spills test. For this, I put down half a teaspoon of ketchup, spread it around, and dried it with a hairdryer until it became dry and crusty. I conducted the same test with strawberry yogurt, but its light pink color didn't really show up on a white paper towel, so I abandoned that. I sent each robot out on a single pass mopping session using the highest intensity offered in the robot's app. After Roborock went out over the ketchup stain, it remained quite visible after the cleaning task was completed. The grooves of the hardened ketchup were still clearly visible on the floor. A wipe with a white paper towel confirmed that a lot of ketchup was left behind. Dreame removed a lot more of the visible stain. I had to look closely at the hardwood floor to spot it. The white paper towel test clearly showed the ketchup left behind, but it was definitely less than Roborock. After Eufy rolled over the mess, it left less ketchup behind on the white paper towel compared with the other 2 brands. I left each paper towel to dry for several hours, which gave a better indication of the debris left behind. You can clearly see the difference among the 3 brands. After each robot finished mopping the ketchup and getting its mopping pads cleaned at the docking station, I inspected each to see if there was any visible ketchup remaining on the robots. Roborock had quite a bit of visible ketchup left on the mop pad, including a few areas where it was thicker. There was also a little bit of ketchup in the wheels. Dreame had some light ketchup staining on the mop pads and more ketchup stuck in the wheels. This required me to clean both the Roborock and Dreame by hand to ensure that ketchup would not transfer to other parts of my home, something that I learned the hard way from prior testing. Eufy had virtually no visible ketchup left on its mop pad after washing and none in the wheels. The reality is all robots would have benefited from multiple passes for more effective cleaning, but the Eufy left less ketchup behind on the floor and didn't require any manual scrubbing back at the docking station by me. When it comes to dried spills, I'll declare Eufy the winner. Next up was the liquid mess test. For this, I spilled 1 tablespoon of coffee on the floor. I also tested this with milk, but its white color did not show on a white paper towel. So then I tested this with fish sauce that I found abandoned long ago in our refrigerator, which does show on a paper towel, but smells awful and was a horrible idea. So I went with the coffee. Once again, I sent each robot out on a single pass mopping session using the highest intensity for a deep clean. Roborock rolled over the coffee, stopping the moving spill in its tracks. But upon wiping with a white paper towel, you could see some brown color left behind. Dreame took a similar approach with similar results, though the brown left behind was definitely less. After Eufy did its thing, only a faint amount of coffee was visible on the white paper towel. After letting all 3 paper towels dry, there was hardly any noticeable staining from Eufy and progressively more staining from Dreame and then Roborock. When it comes to liquid messes, I'll once again declare Eufy the winner. Finally was the mixed wet dry debris test. For this, I scattered 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 tablespoon of Cheerios to simulate a spilled bowl of cereal, a reality of having 2 young kids. This time, I sent each robot out on a single pass vacuum mop session using the highest intensity for both vacuuming, suction, and mopping. Dreame quickly cleaned up all the visible milk and Cheerios with the exception of 1 whole Cheerio piece left behind. But both Roborock and Eufy avoided the mess altogether. Roborock seemed to get spooked as soon as it entered the zone, spinning around several times and then proceeding to do an L-shaped clean before calling it quits. Eufy at least did a full square around the debris, but avoided it like it was some kind of hazard. Afterward, I saw an obstacle icon appear in the Eufy app, indicating the area it avoided. On one hand, you might think it's good that Roborock and Eufy were more cautious, but ultimately I want the AI obstacle detection to accurately separate something that needs cleaning from something that does not. And since this was a mess that needed cleaning, and since only Dreame attempted to clean it, I'll declare Dreame the winner by default. Looking at the results, Eufy was the clear winner on both the dried spill and liquid mess tests, and by a decent margin. It simply did a better job removing all of the visible mess compared with Dreame and Roborock, thanks to its HydroJet system and roller brush mop design. Roborock consistently trailed the competition, but it's worth noting that they also moved to a dual spinning mop pad design with the 2025 Saros 10R. But Eufy avoided the mixed wet dry mess entirely, just like Roborock, and since Dreame was the only robot to attempt this test, it pulled ahead of Eufy as the overall points leader. Of course, I wouldn't get too hung up on a 1-point difference. The main takeaway is that when it attempts to mop, the Eufy is just more effective, but that's no excuse for AI object detection. While I did say the focus would be on mopping, I do want to cover some of the additional features, starting with vacuuming. The Eufy Omni E25 has 20,000 pascals of vacuum suction power, same as the Dreame X50 Ultra. The Roborock S8 MaxV Ultra has half of that at 10,000 pascals, though the newer Roborock Saros 10R also has 20,000 pascals. All 3 brands feature dual detangling brushes to avoid hair getting caught, and all 3 have an extending spinning side brush to reach into corners for maximum cleaning coverage, but only the Eufy has 2 side spinning brushes. I've previously tested the vacuuming and object avoidance capabilities of both the Dreame and Roborock offerings, and we'll leave links to those if you want to check them out in the video description. For that reason, I'm going to focus here on how the Eufy performed when vacuuming up dry debris. I spilled the crumbs from 1 crushed cracker on the floor and sent the Eufy out on a vacuum-only clean at the highest suction power, and it left a lot of the crumbs behind. The 2 spinning side brushes were moving at a fast speed when they approached the debris, which just just sent cracker crumbs flying across the floor and out of the designated cleaning zone. I then sent eufy out once again, but this time on a full room cleaning with both vacuuming and mopping. Here, eufy performed much better, leaving the kitchen floor mostly spotless except for a few crumbs. Having run a bunch of different robot vacuums and mops through a series of tests and also use them in my daily life, my takeaway is that most struggle on a single zone cleaning and perform much better when asked to clean an entire room or floor. With a single zone, the robot may pass over the same area only once or knock debris out of the zone, which is less likely to be an issue on a whole room or house cleaning, so just something to keep in mind. I also wanted to see how eufy did at obstacle detection and avoidance. For this test, I scattered toy blocks, a charging cord, and a child's sock on the rug in our living room. Eufy had no issue avoiding the charging cable, but it plowed right into the toy blocks and even dragged several of them all the way across the rug. I thought it had navigated around the sock really well, only to then see it make a tight turn and eat the sock whole. It continued to vacuum for another 86 seconds before stopping in place and announcing roller brush stuck, remove and clean the roller brush. Flipping the robot over, I could see the sock sticking out, which was easy to remove and was not damaged. Eufy's performance on obstacle avoidance was very similar to what I observed from Roborock, likely due to both turning down the obstacle avoidance sensitivity to avoid false positives when moving on carpet. There are a few other things to know about these robot vacuums and mops. All three produce similar noise levels, ranging from around 52 decibels on the lowest suction power to around 60 on medium and up to 67 decibels on maximum. Only the Dreame and Roborock have a built-in voice assistant, but all three robots let you connect to other smart home platforms for voice control, and all three state that they support the Matter protocol. I was able to add the eufy to Home Assistant easily using the Matter integration, allowing me to set the cleaning mode, control the robot, see its battery percentage, and use it in home automations. When I first tested the Roborock, Matter support was announced but not yet available, and I'm happy to share that you can now add Roborock using Matter. This still does not appear to be an available feature for Dreame. Separately, Dreame and Roborock also have options for a water hookup docking station that connects directly to your plumbing. Eufy and Dreame include a container of cleaning detergent solution with your purchase, whereas Roborock requires you to purchase this separately. And only the Dreame X50 Ultra is designed to go over small thresholds, able to climb up to 2.4 inches or 6 centimeters, and the Dreame has the largest clean and dirty water tanks, so in theory, you'll need to refill and empty those less often. The brand new eufy Omni E25 is substantially cheaper though, at a retail price of $900 or $750 with pre-order pricing until June 12th. This compares with $1,300 for the Roborock S8 MaxV Ultra, released in April 2024, down from its original price of $1,800. The Dreame X50 Ultra was released in February 2025 and cost $1,700, meaning you can grab the eufy for less than half that cost. Just for fun, I placed all three robots side by side in my kitchen and pressed the return to home button on each robot to see which would orient itself and get back to its docking station fastest. The results weren't even close. Eufy immediately recognized where it was and went straight back to charge. Dreame and Roborock both spun around for a while, trying to determine their positioning, which Dreame sorted out much quicker than Roborock. Eufy was back on its dock, charging 23 seconds faster than Dreame and 53 seconds faster than Roborock. I honestly think the eufy Omni E25 offers a tremendous value for the price. You get arguably the best mopping robot with virtually all the bells and whistles of options that cost roughly twice as much. If you're interested in the eufy, you can currently grab it at a discounted price. Here's how it works. You pay $9.90 for a pre-order code that unlocks up to $150 off the eufy Omni E25. The pre-order code basically acts as a reservation so you can get a better deal. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. My floor took a lot of abuse from this testing. Ketchup, yogurt, coffee, milk, and fish sauce make for one potent combination, and I'm still trying to get that smell out. But hopefully you found this helpful. Let me know what you think of these robotic mops down in the comments. And while you're there, give this video a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.